Hi, this is John Horn from StubGroup. We're the #1 resource for fixing Google suspensions and policy violations, and we're also one of the top premier Google partner advertising agencies in the world. Many of our clients come to us and ask us to say, hey, we have multiple websites and we're trying to decide, should we advertise those websites from the same Google Ads account or have a separate Google Ads account for each website? And it seems like a simple question, but there's actually a number of factors that you want to take into account when you're deciding. There's really 3 categories. You've got the compliance side of things, Google policy, how is that going to be impacted? You've got actual campaign performance, will that be better or worse if you have them in the same account versus different? And then you also have ease of reporting to see just how well are things going. So I'm going to touch upon each of those 3 different categories. First, from the policy side of things, Google compliance. You want to be really careful because when you're working with multiple domains and multiple ad accounts, it can get very tricky and you can start accidentally triggering Google systems to maybe suspend an account because they think something is suspicious. So here's the pros and cons of the different approaches. If you put multiple websites into the same Google Ads account, a con is that if you have any kind of policy issues with one of those websites that would impact that Google Ads account, then that means that all of your ads are down, because if your account gets suspended, then you're not able to send ads from that account anywhere. And if you had multiple websites, that means that they're all dead in the water, essentially, until you get the account unsuspended. So that is a significant factor. It's something that you want to be aware of. Now, on the flip side, if you were to say, hey, let's not do that, let's not risk that, so let's just have a separate ad account per website. If you are paying for the ad spend for those separate websites with the same payment method, or even maybe a different credit card with the same billing address, that could also look suspicious to Google, because when they see multiple Google Ads accounts that have the same payment information, billing address, company information, they start to wonder, are you trying to double serve or do something that violates policies? And so sometimes we'll see suspensions triggered just because of that information being shared between accounts. Now, it's not always the case, and there's not technically any Google policy against doing that, but it is something that pragmatically we've seen happen often. So ideally, if you're going to have separate Google Ads accounts, you want to have separate business information in those accounts. So let's say if you have separate businesses and separate websites, maybe you're a serial entrepreneur, something along those lines, then it's probably going to be better for you to have separate ad accounts so that you're also not combining the websites together into one account and making challenges for performance and reporting, which we'll touch on in a second. Now, if you've already been doing this for a while and you already have separate Google Ads accounts for separate websites, or you have multiple websites being advertised within the same Google Ads account, I probably wouldn't go and make a bunch of changes now. Like if you've already been running for a while and things are set, then you've kind of gotten past all of Google's initial review processes and you're probably going to be okay. Whereas if you go and do a bunch of new stuff right now, that might trigger Google to see something new or something as suspicious and create problems. So again, if you've been doing it for a while, probably you want to keep doing what you're doing. If you're just starting from scratch, then again, if you have multiple websites and they're essentially for the same business, same payment method, probably going to be safer to advertise those from a single Google Ads account. Now, when it comes to actual performance of campaigns, question is, does it matter? Is my campaign performance going to be impacted positively or negatively by having ads from multiple domains in the same account? And the answer is maybe, as with most things with Google Ads. So there is this concept of account level quality score, which is not truly something, Google says that there's no account level quality score, but there is a reality that when Google looks at identifying how your ads are going to probably perform, expected performance, especially for new ads, new campaigns, they're looking at your historical performance in your account to see how things performed over time. And so if you have, lots of good historical data built up, that might actually be helpful if you're launching new campaigns for a new website. At the same time, if you've been struggling for a while, or maybe you've got poor quality score across a lot of keywords for some reason, that might actually negatively impact you if you go and create brand new campaigns for a new website. This is kind of the art and science when it comes to Google Ads. There's not a hard and fast rule here, but it is something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, of course, is that when it comes to actually optimizing the campaigns, managing them moving forward, it might be more difficult if you have them all in one account to kind of keep them separated and know, okay, this is for this domain, that's for that domain. Then again, going back to the policy side of things, if you are targeting essentially the same keywords and you're one business with multiple websites, you could risk Google's double serving policies if you have separate Google Ads accounts, because that would allow you to show ads from your separate websites for the exact same keywords at the exact same time. So you want to be careful of that as well. And then when it comes to reporting, especially if you're doing things like linking Google Analytics, GA4 to your Google Ads account, things like that, it can get a lot more complicated quickly if you have only a single ad account for multiple websites and you're linking a bunch of different things and trying to keep on top of, okay, where's spend going and which website is in which campaigns, things like that. So I can't give you a single right or wrong answer to say whether or not you can use a single Google Ads account for multiple websites. It's more of a nuanced question. Hopefully those things I outlined are helpful. And if you want some expert advice about your unique situation and what the best way is to move forward, you can reach out to us through our website, StubGroup.com. We'd love to talk about your unique situation and see what our recommendation might be for the best way to move forward.
Hey, thanks for watching another knowledge pack video from StubGroup. We're the #1 resource for fixing Google suspensions and policy violations. We're also one of the top premier Google partner agencies in the world. We'd love to help you fix your suspension, dominate Google Ads, and grow your business. So please subscribe to this channel for more great tips and insights into all things Google. And check out the description below to get expert help for your own suspension. Thanks.